Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic and an intriguing puzzle today called Magnificent Mansion by Calvin Ball and Oscode. And I think they've collaborated before in videos that we've had on the channel, and certainly Calvin Ball has featured, I know that. And speaking of Magnificent Mansion, there was a perfectly reasonable request or question from somebody yesterday saying, don't you have air conditioning? And that would be a very natural question from a country like the US, where there is 90% of residences have air conditioning. Unfortunately, in my country, only 3% do, and I'm not in that elite. And it always seems a bit of a strange thing after the couple of weeks when we could use air conditioning. We have 50 weeks when it's completely pointless, but there we go. Anyway, that's the situation. That's why it's still hot here today, and even in my room. But nonetheless, going to have a go at Magnificent Mansion. I'll tell you the rules in a moment. I do want to mention that coming up on the 1st of July, we are planning to feature Detective Pets by a combination of Panthera and Sandra and Nala. And they have been very popular featured artistes for our Patreon rewards in the past, and we hope so again. So I'll tell you a bit more about that as we get nearer the 1st of July, when it will become available on Patreon. Do join us on Patreon for that and for extra videos about gridogram, connections, some cryptic crosswords. There's a lot of content there, and it's great fun. We've also, of course, got our apps, which feature line Sudoku, but also classic Sudoku too, and the Worms, which are very good. Fog of War Sudoku as well, so do check those out. They're great fun. We've got a bit of merch as well if you're interested in that. Check out the links in the description field. They're all under the video. But the first one is to Magnificent Mansion by Calvin Ball and Oscode, and the rules are as follows. Normal Sudoku rules apply. So within the 9x9 grid, we have to place the digits 1 to 9 once in every row. Oops, that's not a column. I can't do a column. My mouse is misbehaving. Every column and every box, 1 to 9 once each. Now, all outside cells on a clue must contain a digit. That digit, let's say that was a 5, must also appear in the nth position looking into the grid in the row or column, where n is the digit in the first position. So if that was a 9, this is saying that 5 appears in the 9th cell looking from this way. So there would be a 5 there. That's what a numbered rooms clue does. So, okay, we get that. There's also a double arrows rule. So the sum of the digits in the circles is equal to the sum of the digits on the attached line. So those two will add up to those 3. Digits are allowed to repeat in the circles and on the lines as normally allowed by other rules. And bear in mind, I guess, that the outsides can contain all sorts of repeat digits because they're not in the grid. Right, I suspect it's going to be a complicated puzzle, but let's give it a go and let's get cracking. Okay, so I'm not good at numbered rooms. The trouble is, where on earth do you start? Like, this number is the sum of those two. Just looking around the outsides especially. Oh, this is a long line. Right, what's going on with this line? These digits have to be at least 1, 2, 3. What can the clues be here? Well, the trouble is, there are limits to how small these can be, but I don't quite understand how to limit them. Let's just imagine. Imagine limiting these to 1s. That would mean, oh no, a 1 can only be a numbered rooms clue. if it's telling you that a 1 is in the first cell. Okay, so that pair could be both 1s, that pair could be both 1s, that pair could be both 1s. But then what about, well, okay, I don't think. So there's a maximum of 1, 1 in all of these 4 positions, I reckon. I'm on the verge. No, I've got the rule round. I was on the verge of saying that a 2 or a 3 is not a valid numbers room clue, but I'm quite wrong. A 2 there and a 5 there means that's a 2. It doesn't mean that there's a 2 here. I don't know why I was thinking that. Probably because I started thinking about the 1 situation. 1 here always means there's a 1 there. So these could be 1, 2, and 3. But then these couldn't be 1, 2, and 3. The 1 would be here, but the 2 and the 2 there would prevent this being a 2. It would actually also, well, it wouldn't. I was going to say it would prevent that being a 2. I'm trying to think of the situation where we keep these all down to 1, 2, 3. I find this very complicated. I'm just going to look around a bit more and maybe come back to I may have to start here, but I'm finding it very difficult to do the limiting. Oh, this is interesting. Right. I mean, why did I not look at box 1 first? There's a lot of connected lines. Yeah, there's more. Okay, so these 2 add up to the total of those 5. Now, I was going to limit, well, I can limit that to 18 at a max, but then I can do better because they also add up to the same as these 2. So now 17 is the maximum, a 9 and an 8. Here, with these, it could have been a 9 and a 9. No, neither of these can be a 9 because of these lines. Right. These have to add up to at least 15 because there's 5 different digits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is the minimum, 15. So that means these digits, which cannot include a 9, add up to at least 15. Now, it could be 88 or it could be 7, 8. And they add up to 15 or 16. And this pair of digits then adds up to 15 or 16. And these are limited to 15 or 16. Now, 16 would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. 15 would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But there's also these little lines where we worked out 9 can't go in the circles. So that is 7 or 8. No, this central digit is the high one, isn't it? Sorry. Is 8 or 9. And this other one is 1 or 2. Now, these can't both be 7s, or this line would only add up to 14, which is impossible. So at least one of these is an 8. That means at least one of these is a 9, and at least one of these is a 1. And like I just said down below, once you get a 1 outside the grid, it's looking at a 1 inside the grid. That is impossible, because we need a 1 on this line. So this digit can't be 1. So I've misunderstood the whole concept. I just don't think these can both be 2s because these would both be 7s. Can you have a 1? Yes, you can, can't you? I'm sorry. I've missed. When I told you earlier that the only way you have a 1 outside the grid is by having a 1 on the first cell, that is not true. If you have a 1 outside the grid and a 5 there, that says that numbered room 5 has a 1. The way round I should have stated that relationship is if you have a 1 here, it has to be a 1 outside. That is going to matter for this line again, but it's different from what I was saying, and I apologize. This is why I'm so awful at numbered rooms. Anyway, that means one of these can be a 1, and this digit, well, it's not going to be 1, 2, 3, or 4 because they're all on these lines. So this digit and this one actually are at least 5. and are pushing the 1 outside, or whatever digit this is. One of them might be a 1, the other one's either a 1 or a 2. It's pushing that digit outside the box. Oh, this digit is not appearing in one of those 3 cells. And I think that means this digit is not 1, 2, or 3. And the same for this digit as regards this cell, because it can't sit there or there. And now those are the 2 middly digits on this line, and these 3 are the 1, 2, 3 triple. Gosh, I'm so slow at understanding this, but that's right. Now, this digit is being sent to numbered room 4, 5, or 6 to one of these, and this one to one of these. Now, if they get sent, oh, they can't both get sent into the circles, or these would both be 6s. Yeah, this is important. This is why this setup of this line has been designed like this. What if both of them ended up on this line? Then there'd be a pair adding up to at least 15 on this line, plus 2 other numbers on this line, which could both, no, they couldn't both be 1s, or you couldn't put a 1 in this box. So maybe, just maybe, you could have a 7 and an 8 and a 1 and a 2 on this line and a pair of 9s in the circles. Just maybe. Which is really annoying because it's such an edge case. Well, maybe it's not annoying. Maybe it has to be that. Okay, so the alternative is that this is indeed. Sorry, if this is a 7-8 pair, this is a 4-5 pair to make the addition work. And that would mean 7 and 8 would both be on these lines. And that's the case I was discussing. Okay, that hasn't changed anything. But I think it's likely that these add up to 16 are both 8s. These are a 9-7 pair in that case. One of these is a 6 and is putting 8 in a circle. Okay, the situation that then arises is 8 is in a circle on this line, but also on the line in the other direction, in one of those cells. And the other 3 cells on the line then have to add up to the other circle. Those 3 cells can't contain a repeat low digit, or that low digit couldn't sit here. To add up to a single circle number, they must contain 2 low digits. One on each branch of the line so that you don't get 4 in either row 3 or column 3. And then a middly digit. Oh, that is so blooming. Again, the edge case just works. That's annoying. That is annoying. So with a 6 in one of these cells, you get 8s, both in a circle and on the line. And the other 3 cells, which can include 1 low digit from 1, 2, 3 in each orientation, and 1 middly digit somewhere, add to the other circle. So, I don't know. It feels like this is extraordinarily difficult to achieve, but it must be done one way or the other. So it's either 8, 7, 2, 1 on the line and a pair of 9s in these circles, or it's being done with a pair of 8s, one of them in the circle, the other one on the line. Gosh, yeah, I just don't know which one is right. I've got to think about something else, haven't I? So the 1 or 2 is going in position 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9. The 8 or 9 is going... Okay, I mean, this is another thing to think about. 7, 8, and 9 have to be in this group of cells. If these were different, 8 and 9, yeah, it doesn't really matter. They're going in position 6, 7, 8, or 9. Oh, wow, I'm finding this so confusing already. Maybe I do have to go back to this line and go through the motions of what I wasn't understanding before and try it again. There's this one as well, but it just doesn't look so conducive, if I'm honest. I don't really know what to think about that. So let's think about this again. These numbers, they're just nothing. They're the numbers that are being put into rooms. Can these be 1, 2, 3? Then the 1 will be replicated outside the grid. The 2 is saying what digit is in room 2. And if these were 1, 2, 3, that couldn't be a 2. It couldn't be a 1, 2, or a 3. It would have to be 4 or 5. So if these were 1, 2, 3, these could be 1, 4, 5 at a minimum. And then our line total is up to 16 already. That's quite interesting. But this could be another 1. And these could be kept down to 9 and 8. I mean, they could be 9 and 9 if that's a 4. Anyway, this was only one possible case where these were 1, 2, 3. If these are 1, 2, 4, then the digit being thrown outside the box could be a 1 again. And that's actually reduced the total necessary for the line. You could have 1, 2, 4 there, 1, 3, 1 down here. Now you're only adding up to 12 so far. And with a 1 here, that's dramatically reduced the options. This is not somewhere I can start. Oh, that's really depressing. I'm going to have to come back to this line and work it out. Oh, that's shaken me a bit. Okay, if these were both 8s, what's going on then? That might be a case that is hard to figure out. These will both be 9s and these will both be 1s. That will put 1 in same room, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9 in those two places. You'd also get 9 in different rooms, in rooms 9 and 7, spread amongst those rooms. And you'd get 8 in rooms 6 and 4. So perhaps there and there, or there and there. Then this pair would be a low digit and a middly digit. We've worked that out. So if that was the 8 and this was 6, these would include 1, 2, 3, and either 4 or 5. So then 7 and 9 would be forced to be here. And that would contradict. That's very interesting. That would contradict the idea that these were 9s and in one case were being forced into the far box. Okay, I think that's what rules out this being an 8-8 pair. Because then you can't get 9 onto this. Oh, you could get it in the circle, could you? Oh, bother. Maybe you could get it in the circle. Right. If that's an 8 and that's a 6, then you get 8 here. Then that's an 8. Say that's a 4. Actually, it would be. And now I'm postulating putting a 9 here, which is going to require a 6. Oh, no, that doesn't work weirdly. Oh my goodness, that is really complex. Right, I'm gonna draw it out to show you what doesn't work. I can see it in my head, but it's bonkers. If those are both 8s, which they're not, these have to both be 9s. This pair is a 9-7 pair, and now 9 has to go in these groups of cells, somewhere in numbered room 7 or 9 there, numbered room 7 or 9 here. Now, the problem is that these digits become a 4 and a 6 to make this line add up. Let's say, it doesn't really matter which way around this goes, but let's say that was the 6, putting the 8 here, and that was the 4, putting 8 here. Now, this looks like it could work. You've got to get 2 low digits on this line, because that 8 equates to that 8. These 3 will equate to that digit. Now, what I'm saying is we need a 9 in this row. We can't put it on the line. It will be much too much for the line. But we could theoretically put it there. And these 3 then add up to 9. But the only way you can do that is by having a low digit here and a low digit here, a 1, 2, or 3 on each of these branches. They can never be the same, because that would prevent that digit appearing in box 1 at all. So they have to be different from each other as low digits. You can't have a repeat 4, just in case you were wondering about that. 4, 4, 1 adds up to 9 because of that 4. So let's imagine the low digits went here. How are you going to get 2 low digits and another digit to add up to 9? Oh, and I thought it was going to have to be 1, 2, 6 and clash with the 6. And I now see it doesn't have to be that. It could be 1, 3, 5. So that line of thought doesn't quite work. I really thought it did, and it doesn't. And I'm sorry. Oh, I thought that was something. Well, okay, let's go back to the idea. Okay, let's just go back to the bifurcation. It's not really a bifurcation because I can see it in my head. Because it's 9 has appeared twice. 9. Oh, here's why it's wrong. I didn't see this in my head. I'll admit it. Those 2 9s having to appear here and here are going to prevent 9 appearing on this line at all, because one of them is looking at that cell and one of them is looking at that cell. Oh, that's crazy. Right, but that's a much simpler way of getting to the point of saying that this has to not be a double 8 pair. That has to be a 7, 8 pair. This line definitely adds up to 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is now a 6, 7, 8, 9 quad, in which that pair adds up to 15 and this pair does too. Now, for this to be a 6, 9 pair, yeah, these don't have to be both 9s, do they? But one of these is an 8. So one of these is a 9 and one of these is a 1, at least. If these were both 9s, actually that would force this cell to be a 9, because that would project the 9 in this column down here somewhere and the 9 in this row over there. They'd be looking back into this box and forcing 9 to be there. So these could be both 9s as long as that's a 9 as well. And that would then force these 2 low digits into the corners by the numbered rooms rule. Okay, now we've got the situation where 8 and 7 are being forced into these cells here on the line, positions 4 and 5 only, not position 6. So now we're going to have these groups of cells be a 1, 2, 7, 8 combination, adding up to 18. And here's our first digit in the grid after 20 minutes. It's a pair of 9s. And that's taken me a ridiculously long time. But there we go. I mean, this is clever, but it's not easy. It isn't easy. Now, one of these low digits is a 1 and one of them is a 2, and they're both looking at that cell, which must be a 3. This is saying either 7 or 8 is in one of those. This is saying that either 8 or 9 is in one of these. Now, the only way for one of these to be an 8 is if both of these digits are 1s. Is that going to happen? If both of these digits are 1s, this can't be a 6 anymore, because that would put a 1 in both of those positions and break with the 1 that has to go on this line. If that is... this digit has to go in one of those. This digit has to go in one of these. So the only way for one of these to be a 6 is if the digit it's projecting into room 6 is an 8. That's quite interesting. And that would force both of these to be a 1. So for this to be a 6-9 pair, these are both 1s. For this to be a 7-8 pair, I mean, if I knew which way round this went, I'd really be buzzing. 1, 2, 3, 9. These are all from 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, as are these. Let's just have a little think about that. This digit is in room 4, 5, 6, 7, or 8. So it is 9, well, 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, or 9. I mean, this is not helpful, but, you know, it's about the only thing I've actually got to go on. This digit, similarly, is one of those. So that's also from the same group. It doesn't look to me like that's wildly helpful, but you just never know. So this line, is anything happening with that? These two have a difference of less than 4. So these two must commensurately have a difference of less than 4. Or 4 or less is what I mean. I don't know how that gets anything done. I really don't. It must be in this group and this group. That's not telling me anything. Oh, I'm going to have to think about this horrible line that is scaring me again. I'm just getting nowhere with that. Now, where I got to was if that was 1, 2, 4, these could be as low as 1, 3, 1. Now, has anything gone wrong with that? I don't think the grid has changed to any notable extent at this point. So seven, 10, 11, 12, and then that can be anything it likes. I don't see how. I mean, I can imagine that these two are ceilinged. And it would be lovely if they both had to be 9s so that this could only then add up to 18. But I don't understand it. I don't see why this can't be 1, 2, 4. And then these could include 2 1s and a 3. I mean, oh, well, this line then. Okay, here's why that can't happen. That specific case, because 1, 2, 3, 4 would appear in these cells. And these would be at a minimum 5, 6, 7, and that's too much because these can't both be 9s anymore. I mean, that's wildly weird. But 1, 2, 3, 4 is only an edge case. It's not vital. If these were 1, 2, 3, 5, oh, okay. Well, now I'm wondering what we're positing: 1, 2, 4, and a 3 going there, sort of, if this was the 2. 1, 2, 4, and a 5 going there to let a 3 onto this line. Okay, there is some interplay between these two lines. Oh, right. Let's start with the point of view that these 6 cells add up to at least 21, because that's the minimum for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now we're looking at all the yellows versus all the pinks. We've got a minimum 21 in box 9. Now, what are the minima here? We can have under a 1, we can have a 1. Can we not have a bunch of 1s, though? If these included, well, one of these would have to be as much as a 7. Well, in fact, we can't put 1 there. So one of them would have to be an 8 if these were to be all 1s. We'd have to put 1 in box 6, 1 in box 9, and 1 in box 3. There'd be a minimum of 1, 4, 8, which is 13, 14, 15, 16. If these were all 1s, I'm trying to think of the way to get all of those to be 1s. And then maybe a 1 here. And 17 for this line would be the maximum, with 8 there, which can't be a 9, and 9 here. So if we were trying to make those all 1s, there's one way to do it, and it involves these being something like 1, 4, 8. And these could then be quite low, 2, 3, 5. Now, I gave up there considering the yellow and pinks, and I was just thinking about this line and whether these could all be 1s. And that's the way to get that done. But what if they're not 1s? Right, let's do it with the yellow and pink like I was planning to do. They're minimum 21. These have a maximum, well, that could be 8 and 7 is 15. These could both be 9s. That's 33. So these would have to have a maximum 12. What does that mean? It probably means something. These would be the numbered rooms. I'm assuming these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you could push these rooms. 1 and 3 would be possible there, but then you'd have to have a 4. That's not too bad. There is something going on, and I am heartened by the fact that it seems to involve both of these lines and these cells, which we now know can't be 9s. Maybe it's just about this line and it has to be at least 17. Let's just try and go through that again, because that would be great. Then I could write 8 in here and 9 here. So let's go through that again. For these to be 1s, these would be at least 1, 4, 8 to push a 1 up here. But you just have to throw a 2 into the mix here. Have 1, 1, 2, 1. And suddenly all bets are off, because these don't have to be 1, 4, 8. They could be 1, 3. Well, the 1 could, yeah, the 1s could go into 1 and 4, rooms 1 and 4, and the 2 could go anywhere. So 1, 1, 2 reduces this to 1, 4, 2. Oh, that's really sad. Or 1, 4, 3, and that would let the 2 appear on this line. 8, 9, 10, 12. I don't think you can reduce this line on its own to a minimum 17. I just don't think that's available. It does feel like it could be, but I don't see it as happening. So, that's a shame. Isn't that a shame? I don't know what I should be looking at now. Should I be looking at these cells? That digit. If it was 1, 2, or 3, this would have to be 5, 6, 7, or 8. That's just not interesting. If it was 7 or 8, this would be 4. If it was, it would be 5 or 6. If it was 9, it would be 4. That is just not interesting. Not an interesting circle. These two add up to that. Nothing's any use. These definitely add up to 15. There's a 7 and an 8. Okay, the earlier problem we had was that 9s were being thrown into these cells. And then 9 would have to appear here. Ah. If that was a 9, this digit would have to be that 1 or 2. Now, it can't be 1, because these two both have to have some positive value. If it was 2, these would both be 1s, which would be saying that's not so much a problem. For this to be 9, that would have to be 2. Then this would be 9, and this would be 7, and this would be a 7-8 pair, and 9 would go in position 7 or 8. Right, for this to be 9, that has to be 2. That's interesting. And then this will be 1. And that means 1 would appear here. I don't think that's as powerful. But it's quite difficult for this to be 9. That has to be 2, and 2 has to go here, and these are both 1s. And I just feel like this would get something done. This would be a 1 plus maximum of 8. This couldn't. Okay, this is an interesting line of inquiry now. For this digit to be a 9, I mean, the trouble is, I'd rather be in the position where this had been forced to be a 9, which I almost have been. If these were both 9s, that stops either of these being 9s, because that would require 9 to be in whatever position they're referring to. So it would stop both of those being 9s. One of these is a 9, at least, we know that. And the cell it's therefore abutting in the grid can't be a 9. And indeed, 9 in that case is further down the column or row, so neither of the cells it's looking at can be a 9. One of these is a 9, so neither of the cells it can be looking at is a 9. If they were both 9s, this would be a 9, and we'd get that situation that I want. So for one of these to be an 8, and one of them to be a 9, then both of these are 1s, because the 9 and 8 are working with a 7-8 pair here. Both of these are 1s. The 1 is getting thrown some distance down the grid, and that couldn't be a 9 in with a 1 there. Okay, so I have to work on the situation where both of these are 1s so that we can have 9, 8 here and 7, 8 here. And something's going to go wrong with that, I reckon. 1s in both these cells. That digit could not be 6 because that would break whichever of these had a 1 in. And it could not be 9 because that would put a 1 here in an impossible position. So this would then be a 6-9 pair. And this would be a 7-8 pair. There'd be 1s in these dominoes. This would be a 7-8 pair, putting... No, that would be the 7-8 pair. This would be a 6-9 pair, putting... In one case, you would have 9 that couldn't then have a 9 below it. So it would be 9, 6. Oh, well, that would be putting 9 in position 6, which would be one of these cells. That's not possible. So that doesn't work. All of the various ways in which this can be a 7-8 pair with an 8-9 pair here do not work. The 8-9 pair here is what's impossible. So in fact, these are both 9s to allow these to be 1 and 2. And now 9 is being projected somewhere down, well, somewhere down here and somewhere down here. In fact, let's write those in with digits that are not 6 here. I think it was all about these digits being unable to be 6 because of these. And I wasn't quite using that enough. This is now a 7-8 pair. You've got 9s looking at that cell, which must be 6. This is now 9, and this digit's not allowed to be 1, so it's 2. So that's a 2. Then we can fill in 7 and 8 here, and 1 here. And now we know that 1 is in position 9, which is there. And 2 down here has put 1s on both circles. And where is the 1 in this column? Well, it's not in position 9. In fact, we've got a 7 or 8 there, so that's not a 9 either. Where is the 1? It could be in position 1. It can't be in position 2. It could be in position 3, 4, 5. We can't have a 6. It could be in position 7. I mean, I don't know. Is that right? It might be right. It's just interesting to get these circles done. We've got this double arrow as well. Now, if that was a 4, we'd have to add these up to 5. We couldn't put 1 in position 4, so that's impossible. If it was a 5, these would add up to 6. We could put 1 in position 5 there. We couldn't put 2 in position 4. In fact, the only way this is a 4 is if this is a 9, and then that can't be a 12. So that's not a 4. If it was a 7, this would be a 3. This would have to be a 9, which is impossible. 7 is out the window. If it was an 8, this would be 1 or 2. So this would be 1 or 2. If it was 1, we'd need another 8 there. If that was 2, this would have to be 9. So 8 has gone. This is 5 or 6. This is pointing to one of these cells. So this digit is now 1, 2, 7 or 8 that is going into those. If we had 7 or 8 here, we can't get to the total in the double arrows. So this is 1 or 2. And now the various totals here are 6, 7 or 8, which reduces that to 5, 6 or 7. The 7 is in position 4 or 5. So one of these is a 7. The 8 is in position 4 or 5 here. So one of these is an 8. That is now a 1, 2, 7 triple. So this isn't a 7, nor is this. That's become a 5, 6 pair somehow. And this digit is a 4. Lovely. So that puts 7 here. Then we get 5 here, and that puts 8 here. And now we come back down here. This can't be 5, 6, or 4. That is an elimination 8. This can't have a 5 on anymore by Sudoku. Oh, can we do the maths here? 1 and 5 there would require this to be 1 and 5. Well, that's just ridiculous. That would be 2 5s here. So that can't be a 5. That's the 6. This is a 5. These two have to add to 7 now. That can't be 6 anymore. That's a 5. This is a 2, and 2 is in position 5, and that's there. So this is a 1. Now, can I rely on the fact that this is saying where does 1 go in position 6? Probably not. But we can look at, oh, that 1 gives the 2 there. Now, we know a lot of what's in these positions. So this is either 9 in position 4, 8 in position 5, 1 in position 6, 3 in position 7, or 2 in position 8. That didn't take many candidates away, which is really, frankly, quite depressing. Oh, well, let's do some Sudoku. How about that? There's a 5 in one of these cells and a 6 in one of these. Don't tell me that's all I can do. That's fundamentally depressing when I've suddenly made progress and got some of this puzzle done. Okay, the 1 here. This digit can't be 2, 5, 6, 8 or 9 by Sudoku. So it's putting a 1 either in position 1, certainly not in position 3, or position 4, or, oh, it can't be there because of that 1. Well, you see, if it was here, that suddenly upped the yellow total. The yellow total would now be a minimum of 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which adds up to 27, plus a minimum. Wow. Oh. Surely the minimum is going to take us above, what is it, 36 for these. Feel like it might be possible to say this isn't a 1. That would be position 2, position 4, 5 or 6, and position 9 for 1s. Well, position 2 is unavailable here because of that. 2 and 5 are not possible digits here. Wow, I mean, things have changed quite dramatically. But I don't quite know what the implications actually are. I do wonder if it is now impossible for this to be a 7. But maybe let's have a look at this. This is not putting a 1 in position 7 anymore. So this is a 1, 3 or 4. At least the puzzle is developing. I just wish I knew more about where it's taking me than I do. 8652. These are from 13479. Oh, what have we got rid of here? 5 and 8. That's a 467 triple. Had not really noticed that. There's a 4 in one of those cells and a 6 in one of those. 4671. This digit is 2, 3, 5, 8, or 9. Now, what's this? This is whatever's in position 1. So it's a 1. I mean, I tried to learn that long ago, that the 1 in the grid gives you the number outside the grid. So these two have to be the same now. So that's not a 1, and this isn't 5. If that was a 2, well, this is 4, 6, or 7. So the circle is either 9, 1, which we've ruled out, or 3. So the circle is 9 or 3, and this digit is therefore 9 or 3 as well. Now, it can't be 9, because 9 in this row is in one of those two cells, so it's 3. And this 3 is in position 7, so that room number is a 7. And that's not hard. It just has to all be seen. Okay, good. Well, that's something done. Now, what about these digits then? From 2, this one is now 4, 6, 8, or 9. That is talking about this digit, which either goes there, which would be quite interesting in its own right, or there, there, or there. Now, there's problems with it going here and here. For this digit to be reduced to a maximum of 4, then the pink total is 15. I'm looking at the maximum, 1928, with what we're still saying is a minimum 21 here, and therefore a maximum 7 down here. I don't know how to rule that out yet. I mean, again, I feel like I'm being a bit dense about that stuff, but I don't know how to do it. I'm going to do some mad pencil marking now, just because I've got nothing else going on. Right, let's think again about 1 being in position 7, i.e. being here. And the minimum total for these yellows is then 27, which is quite high. The maximum total for the pinks is 35. 17 on the left, 18 on the right. So that's not right. I'm miscalculating that, because it's not 1 less than 4 9s. 8 and 7 there is 15. 9 and 9 here is 18. It's 33. That's quite different from 35. It's 33 is the maximum total for the pinks. So if I'm saying the yellows might equal 27, then these yellows have a maximum of 6. If this was a 1, that would have to be a 9. And indeed, that would have to be a 2. I don't think this can be a 9. Let me just work that one out. 7, 8, 2, 9 is 26. This would be a 1. I'm not going to entirely rule it out. It seems insane, but I can't get my handle around my head around the maths to prove it definitely wrong. This is a brain fryer, isn't it? 51 minutes. Lordy Lord. Okay. It's still all about these yellow and pinks. Or is it? Is this suddenly interesting? I don't think I can do that one yet. I think that's for later. Wow. Mind bending. 1. If that was a 1, this would have to be a 4. And that would be a 1. So 1, 4, 2, 5, 6, 8. This would be 3 or 7. To be a 4. Is there a problem with that being a 4? These digits could be maximum 1, 3, minimum 1, 3, 6. If this was, oh, mind you, if this was a 1, these would be minimum 3, 4, 6, which is 13. Okay, this cannot be a 1 because these would be minimum 3, 4, 6, which is 13. Since 8 and 9 are the maxes here, that would require all of these to be 1s. And we know that this couldn't be 3, 4, 6 because we'd need a 9 here for the 1 down here. So that's not a 1. Now, if I could rule out this being 3 on the same sort of basis, I don't think I can, but if I could, that would be great. So if this was 3, these would be minimum 1, 4, 6, which is 11. These would be maximum 6. Now, what does that mean? That means 2 of them would have to be 1s. But this one could be if, well, no, it couldn't if that was 8 or 9, actually. If this was a 1, 1 can't go there anymore. 1 would be at maximum in position 6. So if this was a 1, that's a maximum 6. Then pinks here add up to 15. And the yellows, I'm positing this as a 3. The yellows are 1, 4, 6 is 11, and a 1 here is 12. These would have to add up to 3, and they'd all be 1s, and we've just seen how that's impossible. If these were 1, 4, 6. So that couldn't be a 1 in this situation. So in this situation where this is a 3, and these are minimum 1, 4, 6, 11, this is at least a 2. And we're up to 13. And now these have a maximum of 4. And since they can't all be 1s, they'd have to be 1, 2, 1, or 1, 1, 2, or 2, 1, 1. And 2 of them would be 1s. One of those would be sitting perfectly happily under a 1. The other one, what am I positing these as? 1, 4, 6 would be putting a 1 either in row 4 or row 6. And the 2 would be here, also putting a 2 in row 4 or 6. Well, that might just be possible. But this digit would be 4 or 6. And there'd be no degree of freedom. This couldn't come down from 9. 9 can't go into position 4, so that would have to be the 6. 2 would be under 6. 1s would be under 1 and 4. I mean, this might be what happens if this is a 3. It's a real strain. Let's just go with what happens if this is a 4, because this is still very, very pressured. Then you've got an absolute minimum of 136 here, which is already 10. We know this is at least a 2. If that's an R, if this is an for this to be an 8, this has to be 2. Yeah, well, that's still quite important. For this to be 3 or 4, sorry, for this to be 4, these could be 136, which is 10. Maximum of 7 now for these, and this one still cannot be a 1 without reducing that to a 6. So I think these have a maximum total of 5 under any possible arrangement. A maximum total of 5. And that means the digits they're placing are all in this box. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. It means we're placing maybe 113 or 122 or 121 or 111 somewhere in the columns. These are from 1, 2, and 3. These are an absolute minimum of 10. So these are an absolute maximum of 7, any way you cut it. This digit is 1, 2, 3, or 4. I mean, it just has to be. And that is therefore talking about these rooms. No, it's not. It's talking about the digit 1, 2, 3, or 4. Now, the minimum here, it's not 4 because we know they can't all be 1s. It's 5. And the minimum here is 136, which is 10. That's 15 as an absolute minimum for these two cells. This one is 6, 7, or 8, and this one is 7, 8, or 9. And that's just facts. This is putting whatever digit this is into positions 6, 7, or 8. Well, not into position 7. So either there or there. And if it's here, the digit can't be 1 or 3. For that to be an 8, this has to be 2 or 4. This digit is appearing in, well, for this to be 4, these have to be the same. They would both have to be 8s. 8 would be appearing in position 4. This could only be a 2 at that point sent to room 4. Right, for these to be the same. Yes, for this to be a 4, these have to be the same. Now, this is quite an interesting point. Right, these have to be the same. And they have to be 8s. And that would be 2 or 4. And this would be 4. Now we'd have a 3 here. And these have a minimum of 1, 4, 6 at that point, which is 11 towards a total of 16. These would have to add up to 5. There'd have to be 3 1s and a 2. We know the 2 would be in this group. So that would be a 1. But this would be an 8, and that's illegal. So that is not what is happening. This is not a 4. Good grief. So this is a 7, 8, or 9 getting sent to position 6, 8, or 9. Well, it's got to be here, and that has to be a 6. And now this digit has to be an 8. And now we know this is not an 8. Because that would put an 8 in room 6, which is here. Now, this is sending 1, 2, 3, or 4 up to here. Well, it has to be 2 or 4. And that 6 can come out of these cells. And it's saying 1, 2, or 3 is in that position. Well, it has to be 2. So that's a 2. Takes 2 out of these cells. Now maybe we can just add up our minima again, yet again. 1, 3, 6 here is 10, plus 2 there is 12, and at least 2 there is 14, plus at least 2 there is 16. This can't be a 7 anymore, because then the pinks on this line would add up to 15. So that's definite 9 in position 6, which is there. Now, there's very few degrees of freedom here. This is either 1, 3 or 1, 4. And we can put 7 in the row here. This is saying either a 2 or a 4 is in position 8. This is going to put, well, I think this is either, I don't know, let's go it again, 10, 12, 14, maximum 3 here. So there's no 3 in those cells. That's either a pair of 1s or a 1 and a 2. One of them is going to have to be a 1 with a 1 above it. The other one is going to be either a 1 or a 2 in position 3 or 4. Well, it can't be a 2 in position 4 because we've had the 2 in the box now. It's either a 1 with a 4 or a 2 with a 3, and that pair is going to add to 5. And the 2 1s make it 7, 9, 15. This has to be a 2 to get the thing to add up to 17, and that positions a 2 there. Takes 2 out of those cells. I know I'm taking it a bit slow at this point. I just don't want to mess it up now. It's got so... Right, we now know one of these is a 1, and that digit can't be a 7, or we'd have to put 1 there. So that's definitely a 1. Now, we've still got this craziness to think of. There's definitely a 1 here. So the minimum here... Well, I mean, the minimum's not too bad. It's sort of 2, 4, 5... adding up to 11. It doesn't feel like it's difficult at all, weirdly. I mean, I really thought it was going to be adding up all the pinks against the yellows was going to do the business, and it just didn't. Right, what else have we got going on? There's a 1 in one of those cells, a 6 in one of those. That digit is being put in position 4, 5, or 9. This position 9 is 3, 4, or 7. Yeah, this is definitely not a 9 now, because 9 can't appear in any of those positions. But I mean, that's a very minor limitation. I could look at this line. Where is... So that digit is the same as that, room 2. Then this one is talking about room 4, 5, 8, or 9. Not wildly helpful. One of those isn't. Oh, goodness. Still haven't figured out these 7, 8 pair from ages ago. So if it's 2, 3, that's putting a 2 in one of these cells. If it's 1, 4, that's putting a 1 in one of these. Neither of that looks very interesting. This is going to rooms 4, 5, or 8. Oh, I'm at a complete impasse again here. Bother. Nine, 7, 8, 1, 6. These are from 2, 3, 4, 5. That's really not very interesting, is it? That 1 is in position 3 or 4. Oh, well, it can't be in position 3, so that's a 4. That's huge and easy. Hopeless, man. Right, now there's no 4 there. So we are going to put something in position 3, and it must be a 2. And there's a 2 in one of those cells. I don't know which one it is. But there is a 2 in one of those cells. So there's definitely a 2 in one of those. Now, on this line, we now know this is a 1, 3, 6. triple 8 must be in one of those. These are from 2, 4, 5, 7, 9. What do they add up to? I don't even want to do this maths because there's so 11's the minimum, then 13, 15, although maybe there's a way of doing 14, there is. And that's what the pinks are going to add up to. Oh, well, let's think about this. This is in either position 9, in which case it would be a 3 or a 7. Or position 4 or 5 here, which can't be 9, 7, 8 or 2. So this can't be a 1, or we couldn't get to the total. I mean, am I really going to work through all the possibilities? It feels pathetic. It can't be a 2 because that's going in position 2 or 3. Okay, let's work through some of the possibilities. If it was a 3, then this would have to be at least 8, which it can't be, to get to an 11 total. The only way you can get to an 11 total with a 4 is with 7 here. These would be 2, 4, 5. The 4 would then not be in position 4, 5 or 9. So no. If that was a 5, this could be 6 or... Well, could it be 7? No, because you can't get these to add up to 12. So it would be 6, and these would be 2, 4, 5. But the 5 again would be in the wrong position. So even 5 gets ruled out. Okay, well, that was something. Now, if it's 6, this could be 5 or 7. These could be 2, 4, 5 or 2, 4, 7, putting a 6 in position 4. That's pretty plausible. If it was 7, don't think I've got any scope to worry. Okay, let's think about if this is a 9, because it would be nice to say it's not. If that's a 9, this has to be 7. Then 9, 2 and something add up to 7 and pink. So pink is 4 plus the other digit, which would have to be, yeah, I don't think that works. So let me go through the maths of that. If this was a 7, no, if this was a 9, this would have to be 7 going there. So that would be a 9. Yellow would add up to 9 plus 2 plus something else. Pink would add up to 7 plus that. So taking those two equations away from each other, I think that would be 2 plus 2 plus the final digit, which would have to be at least a 4. Well, this is interesting because this is making me, oh, it's putting 9 on the line. That's the hard thing. You want to keep this line total down. So that's why that fell apart, was we were putting 9 on the line. Right, okay, well that's good. So now, for this to have 9 on the line then, let's briefly consider that. It would have to add up to a minimum of 15 with only a 7 or 6 there and an 8 or 9 here in position 4 or 5. Well, these positions 4 and 5 can't have 8 or 9 or indeed 7, so that's not right. So there's no 9 on this line. And now the only place for 9 in the row is actually here, which is a surprise. Now 9 in row 8 is in one of these cells. Okay, I'm going to try again, desperately hope that it works, that can 7 be on this line? Its minimum total is 13. And it must have a 2 on it. It would have to be 724 or 725. So it would be 13 or 14 if 7 was on this line. 13 or 14. Fix those in your head. This digit could be 4, 5, 6, or 7. And this digit would be in position 4 or 5. Well, the only one that can be there is a 6 in position 4 or 5. So that would be a 6. If these added up to 13 or 14, that would be a 7, not an 8. So this would have to be 6, 2, 5, 4, 6 in one of those cells, and a 7 here. And that does just work. So 7 could just be on this line. That's annoying and unfortunate. Because if we could have ruled that out, we could have made some quite good progress. Now, okay, the alternative is that this is 2, 4, 5. Well, I think we've ruled out 2, 5, 7 as a possibility, because this could only be 6 or 7. That could only be a minimum of, oh, could they both be 7s? No, that's no good. This would be a minimum of, well, it would be, yes, it would be a minimum of 7, and 7 can't go in one of those cells. In fact, this digit does go in one of those cells and must now be a 6. Why have I not worked that out? Don't know. That is now a 1-6 pair, weirdly. That is strange. I don't know. That's odd, but it's good. It's good to get it. 1-6 pair here. That is a 6 in one of those positions. And that 6 is being added to a total of 2, 4, 5 would give a 5 here. 2, 4, 7 would give a 7 here. 2, 5, 7 would give an impossible 8. So 4 must be in this group and not there. 4's in that group. Honestly, eking it out tiny bit by tiny bit, it's the only way I can do it. It's the only way. There's a 2 in one of those cells. Let's do a little bit of Sudoku. An 8 in one of those. 1 or 9? Yeah, 9 in one of those. Right. Probably missed some huge single room point that is just, what did I call it? Numbered room, not single room. 3, 7. There's me thinking I'm going to have to be in a single room because I'm doing so badly. I don't think I'm doing badly. I think this is a very hard puzzle. And there you go. I said it. This digit is going in position 4, 5, or 8. It can't be a 1, can it? These would have to add up to 3. Oh, that's going to be an important, slightly important thing maybe. For these to add up to 3, they would be a 1 and a 2. That couldn't be a 2. It would have to be a 1, putting a 1 there. And then this would be a 2. But that would need a 7, which is not possible. So this is not a 1, and therefore this is not an 8. And now I've got a 4, 5 pair in this column. And that gives me an 8, 9 pair. And I don't know if that's important, but it's nice to reduce possibilities. This digit is going to be in position 8 or 9. So it's 3, 4, 5, 6, or 8. This digit is going to be in position 2, and we don't know anything about that apart from that it's not 2 or 7. This digit is going to be in position 4 or 5. If that was a 5, it's there. If it's a 4, this is a 5 or a 7. And that's interesting as well, perhaps. 5, 7, 8, 9. I hadn't noted that down. Still a hot day. Right. Position 4 or 5. One of those two. No, I don't think I can work on that line, annoyingly. Done so much work on this line, and it's sort of petered out. Okay, let's just think about this digit being a 5. Then that's a 2, 4, 5 triple, but this becomes a 4. And that's definitely a 5 then. That's a 6. That becomes 1. Yeah, I don't know. Something might stem from this if I get lucky. But maybe it's about if that's a 5, this is a 4, and this digit is a 5. That's a 5, this is a 4, and this is a 5 by the numbered rooms rule. And then these two have to add up to 7, which involves this being 3, 4, 5, or 6. But it couldn't be 5, so it'd be 3, 4, or 6, and this would be 4, 3, or 1 getting shoved here. Don't see any problems with that, unfortunately. This being a 5 and that being a 4 doesn't really do any damage anywhere else. 5, 2, 4 here. I can't see where difficulties arise. Okay, I should just go round the board checking my numbered rooms, making sure I've done them all. I think I have. Oh no, look, I hadn't done this one. 9 has gone into position 7 there. Well, that's quite important. That gives me a 3 and a 7 down here. Oh, sorry, I did not mean to hit the tick button. I don't even know how I did. Sorry about that. Anyway, that 7 goes into one of these cells and makes them add up to 11. So this is definitely a 5, and that's useful. So this is the way we should go. 4 there, 5 here. This digit is talking about room 4, so that's a 5. So these two do add up to 7. We can't have a 5 there because we can't have a 2 here. That is putting 1, 3, or 4 in the red cell. This is putting 3, 4, or 6 in one of these. Well, it can't be in position 8 because that one can't be 3, 4, or 6 now. So that's a 9. In fact, there's a 3, 4, 6 triple down this column, weirdly. So that doesn't resolve what it is, but it does give us the 9 there, which gives us 8 down here. These cells are now 7 and 9. These ones are 2 and 4. I'm going to get rid of the colouring on pink and yellow because it did the job very thoroughly. That digit has become a 3, and 3 comes out of these. This one can't be 5, so it's 4, and these ones are a 2, 5 pair. So that was just one spot up there, got loads done. This is a 5, 8 pair. Now, we've done that numbered clue. It's just these two. Are they the only ones left? Well, we didn't finish off down here. I get the feeling that's going to be finished off by this somehow. So I think it's Sudoku to an extent for a while. In fact, I thought I was going to get to a point. 2 is in position 8. I thought something here was going to resolve this. Maybe that was if this turned out to be a different digit. Doesn't seem to have resolved that. Oh, 8 has come out of these cells. That's nice. That takes 5 out of these cells. This is now a 4, 7 pair. I can write them in. That's what I like to do. This is a 3, 5, 6 triple. I can't write them in. Pity. But this column, 2, 9, 5, 4, 8, that can't be 7. So there's only one place for 7 in the column, and that's here. So now there's going to be a 7 in one of these two. This is putting a 3, 4. Yeah, this is just. Oh, that can't be a 4 anymore. And that means this can't be a 3. And that means this can't be a 3. That's an interesting way of eliminating possibilities. Now, that is a 1, 3 pair. Surely some digit must have got write-in status in this column. I can't see it if it has. 2, 9, 4, 7. Wow, that's annoying. Right. It was this box that was giving me info. 4 and 8. No, 4 is in one of those two cells. 8's in one of those three. 1 is in one of those three. I don't like those odds. I'm going to have to think about what happens down here, because in one of them, we get a 3 there and a 2 above it. Now, if that was this side, you'd go 3, 2, 1, 8, 4 in the column. I don't know quite. This digit has been reduced. 1, 9, 5, 4, 7, 8. That's 2, 3, or 6. No, that's not going to get me home. I'm so close now. I've probably forgotten one numbered rooms clue. Let's go through them all again. It just does no harm. 2 is done. Down here, 1 is going to give a 1, and the other is going to give 2, 3, 2. So the 1 is going to be under a 4. I hadn't thought about that. 6, 2 in the column. I don't know. Maybe it's about this one. 4 or 6 is going in position 9. 2, 7, 9. We haven't had a 3 in this row. Okay, I feel like I can see the whole... Oh, look, I've placed 9 in this box. I hadn't realized that. I feel like I can see the whole grid and I still can't get anything. This digit is 1, 3, or 6. What's going on there then? 1, 2, 5, 3, 6. There's still 2 places for at least 2 places for every possible digit. 4 and 8. 5, 8 pair there. 1, 9, 5, 4. One of these is a 7. Oh my goodness, this is driving me crazy now. Now, I was going to go through all the things. 2 in position 8, 2 in position 5, 1 in position 4, 1 in position 1, 8 in position 5, 9 in position 8. There we go. I did that bit and then forgot that it had a corollary. 9 in position 8. That's going to matter. That's going to give me a 7 here. That's going to give me 7 here. Is that going to... That's going to surely do something... Well, I mean, it must do something else because nothing else was. 8 in this row? No, not necessarily. 5 in one of those. No, definitely in that cell. And that fixes, that is right. That is right. So that's an 8 and that's a 5. Now this isn't 8. Still got 2 positions for 8 though. 8, 2, 7, 5, 9. This is 4 or 6. Oh, that's a pair. So this can't be 6. This is 1 or 3, and that's a pair in the box. And this is a 6, 8 pair. Are they not resolved? I can't believe it. They don't seem to be. They don't seem to be. So I should just keep going with these blooming things that I don't check off. 1 in position 9, 2 in position 9, 9 in position 7, 7 in position 4, 1 in position 1, 3 in position 7. We're going to get that red into that cell. This baby is going in there. Let's make it yellow. 5 in position 4. We've done that. 6 in position 5. There it is. That is going to be the last decider. I don't know how long that's been available for. It's however long you've been shouting at the screen. Right, 6 there comes out of those possibles. Now, something must be happening as a result of that. Because it's kind of the last one. I've been around the whole grid. Right, 6, 1 here. got this 3-6 pair. 3 pair. Maybe I should colour these against each other. So red against blue for the 1-3s. It's not going to do anything, is it? You never know. You never know. I don't think it is. Or I could colour the 4-6s yellow and pink. I don't think I've got any others of those going on, so that's not the right way. Right, this central box, 9, 7, 5. 2 is in one of these cells. Oh, what did we have going on down here? We had a 3 above a 2 somewhere. Or underneath a 2. One of these is going to be 3, 2. Then you either get 1, 8, 4, 6. Or 3, 2, 1, 8. 4, 6. I don't see how that resolves. Oh, these two have to add up to 7. They're not independent. Ah, so if that's a 3, then yellow is a 4. Maybe more importantly, if that's a 1, yellow is a 6. Then that would be a 3. If red was a 1, this becomes a 3. That would have to be 3. That would be 3. Where are my 3s ending up in that situation? That would be 3. That would be 3. But, and red is a 1, is it? Is that what I said? 6 and 1. Maybe the problem comes the other way around with 4 and 3. So if red is 3, that is 6 because yellow is 4. For that to be 6, that's 5. Oh, look at that. If yellow is 4 and red is 3, that's red. But if yellow is 4, that's 6, that's 5, and that's 3, clashing with 3. So 4 and 3 doesn't work, 6 and 1 does work. Oh, that is a complicated, mean finish to a tough, tough puzzle. But I'm very pleased to have got through this in tough conditions. Right. Now that 6 is yellow, that's there. Okay, let's get rid of the colouring now. Super job it did. It was absolutely essential for me. That's a 4. This is a 4. That's a 2. This is 8. That's just Sudoku. That's 6. That's 3. Then I can do 6, 3, 5 at the top. 2 and 5 here, and I think we have populated the magnificent mansion. There we go. What a cruel, cruel beast to be doing today. I'm delighted to have got through it. Very clever puzzle, but I found it very hard. Do let me know if it was much easier than I was finding it. I don't think it was. I'm going to trust myself enough that I think that was just very hard. Thank you for watching. Love to see you again soon. Do come back. Bye for now.